red robins are sure chirping it up today. What's going on, America? Charles Bronfman is who hired Alex Jones. That's who owns Free Speech Systems LLC. Same company his father works for. Got so many people out there wrapped up so tight they don't know if they're coming or going. They're just tunnel vision. Ooh, man. A lot of bird music out. A lot of robins and birds like that. Singing. That's robin. Man, just a minute ago I seen that this little scissor tail chase a big, huge male crow out of the tree, and he took him down right on top of that right behind that little building out there, down there behind him, behind the building. I mean, just went up there chasing his ass and took him out.
So, Bob,
Wolfie, what's up, Wolfie?
what are you up to?
Nothing really. I'm just hanging out.
How you feeling? You feeling good? Or?
A little better every day, yeah. The blood clots have about 90% gone out of my arm, so that's good. Wherever they stuck me with that catheter right in each arm, it was developing blood clots right there after they took the needle out. So all of those are being worked out of my arms real good, so I'm feeling really a lot better because of that.
I enjoyed you today on Elisa's show.
I turned up my volume a little bit so I can hear you better. Yeah, it was different. I just felt like coming in and grinding into that guy a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
He's another Tucker Carlson. Tucker really don't know too much about too much. He just reads scripts and he's good at it. He's always been a left winger, so why did they put him over here to pretend to be for the right all of a sudden? I never bought into that. I don't think too many people did either.
Yeah, I don't like Tucker Carlson. Not a fan of his.
Nah. I've been going after him since I found out since before I found out, purchased the book that Gavin McGinnis wrote, Vice Guys to Anal Sex, and he liked it so much he went back and had him autograph the book for him at a library.
I didn't know that. Well, Tucker Carlson did one of the first interviews with Roseanne after she got canceled. What do you think of Roseanne? Roseanne Barr?
Well, I don't really have any issues with her. I mean, I don't think she should have been canned anyway.
Well, she was a Trump supporter, and I was a huge fan of hers as like a comedian, and I thought she was kind of, not treated fairly.
Oh, of course she wasn't treated fairly. That's a given.
Yeah. And like she was brilliant. Like when she became a comedian, she was already a mother. She was in her 30s. She was fucking hilarious. She got this show, and then during the Trump years, she tried to bring back Roseanne, the show, and try to make people meet in the middle. And I guess she fucked that up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she's just human, just like everybody else.
But I'm a huge Roseanne fan. I think she's excellent. And I never thought she was racist or anything. Like, I thought that was all blown out in proportion.
Of course. They saw a target to go after, so they went after her. But I don't think they want any brownie points over that.
Yeah, and the show keeps going on. It's like, I don't know, T-Bob.
I think that one guy kind of hit a lot on the head when he said that less people are watching TV now than ever before, and in the future, where you're going to get your news is online. You believe who you believe. I mean,
that's true.
Because we know that the news is full of shit. Even Fox News is limited in what they can say. They have so much Muslim investment that they can never call out anybody, like during the Khashoggi assassination. They never said anything too much one way or the other about it, and they could have said a lot. And I know because I sent them a ton of information on the topic, and they were scared to hit anything up when it comes to anything Muslim.
Well, I don't have anything to say about that because I don't really know too much about that. But
well, whenever you look at who the family, and there's actually about 5 families, really, if you want to get into it, that make up the Khashoggi or made him up who he was, let alone who his son was. That brings in a whole nother development or family to it. So what you're looking at is basically a small group of families that own a lot of media.
Yeah. And
they can never be called out for it. That's how much they own. They own 26% of Fox News. Last I checked, they own 20% of NBC, CBS, and all the rest of them, CNN, and all of that. And see, people aren't calling that out. But one of the reasons the Khashoggi family was killed was because they were giving the other families bad names and going out of their way to do it when their family was just as guilty of doing the same shit. They're both armed forces.
And you brought up the Kennedy family. Were you saying they had ties with the mob? Because I was trying to follow that.
No, he brought up the Kennedy family, and I just pointed out, they were a mafia of their own. They were part of the what do you call it, mafia? The
Irish?
Irish mafia, I think they were part of the Irish mafia. They were one family of it anyway. And what happened was whenever Kennedy became president, there was a lot of mafia involved in a lot of things back then, just like today. The only difference is back then they called them mafia. And nowadays it's in the mix because like in California, the mafia is literally the Democrats who run California. That's who the mafia is.
Yeah.
And there's some mafia on the right too.
Well, did you think like Kennedy was a good president, or you just thought he
No, I
was a
think Kennedy was a total idiot. I think he was
really,
one of the dumbest people ever elected to the presidency.
really?
Yeah.
Did you like Nixon?
Well, I liked his character, but let's face it, Nixon
Oh,
knew more about politics than he did. And the thing about Kennedy, though, was how could you be so dumb as to go try to cancel out everything at one time? He wanted to revamp our police force and how it's run. He wanted checks and balances in on it, which I agree with that. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad idea. It's a very good idea. We do
yeah,
need police in the police department these days at every level. I mean, that needs to be done.
of
And
course.
yeah, of course. And then they have wow, a bunch of ducks. Look at them suckers.
But
Eight
Bob,
of
don't
them.
you know one of the things the guest was talking about today on Elisa's show was he was like, all right, I have these thoughts, I have these thoughts, you know, left and right, but it's equality. That's, you know, something that you know, what do you know, I thought he was a great guest.
Yeah, he might be okay, guy. I just don't like him.
He was a little annoying with his voice, but I liked his thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna like. I mean, what he puts out there, you're gonna like. What he writes about in a book might be another thing. What he actually does in real life might be another thing. I'm just a people person. See, I've always been people first. So whoever I vote for, like from here on, for example, it's got to be the person that's going to be mostly for the people, not the person that's going to be against the people.
Well,
You
that's
know,
nice.
you have to vote that way. If you don't vote that way, you don't know who you're voting for, in my opinion. Because if you don't know that this guy is say related to Nancy Pelosi, then how do you even know to vote for him or not? You don't because you didn't even look his name up. You don't even know who the hell he is. So how do you know if he's intelligent enough to be your leader or not? You don't. And these people
Yeah.
got in there elected so much, they got the system so crooked that California needs to be revamped. I mean, you need to go in and remove the damn Democrats and take it back over again because
Well, forget about California. I mean, you know, how did Trump, you know, get everyone to vote for him?
same way
He was
Obama
a
did. He came
hustler.
in promising changes. Oh, he's not a hustler by any means. And everything he did was for the people, though. You got to go back and look at the track record speaks for itself. No other person running for the president for the rest of my life or in my lifetime has ever done as much for the people as Donald Trump. And you can't take that away from Trump.
Now, Bob, let me ask you this: what do you think of the Roe versus Wade decision, which is a
It's
hot
about
topic?
time. It's about time. They need to do that with the American flag, too. Make it a crime to burn that flag again.
See, that's where you and I disagree, but
No,
you
if
know,
it's an
that's why I
old
like
flag and it
talking.
needs to be burned up, then that's one thing. But if you're burning it to make a statement, fuck you, then I say America say fuck that motherfucker and give him the death penalty.
All right, say you had a daughter though.
If she burned a flag, I'd be the one to light the fucking match.
No, if she,
I would burn her like a fucking witch.
what
Give
if
her the
she
death
got
penalty.
impregnated and it wasn't her decision or her choice? Would you feel comfortable with that? Like, you would think she should go ahead with the birth?
What are you talking about? I mean, she went out and got fucking late and got pregnant, or she went out to a party and got raped and got pregnant. Because if
What
the
you say?
father's there, I think the father has 50% say so. And he says no to the abortion, he'll take care of the baby, then you got to have the baby.
Even if it was a result of rape
Now, if it was rape, I don't agree with that. I say if it was rape, then she ought to be allowed to have the baby aborted. Absolutely.
or incest, I mean, it's a, we're guys.
Now, if it was incest, that should be reported to the police, and the people involved should receive, like, 30, 40, 50 years prison sentence or something for being too dumb to be able to operate in society.
And Bob, this is where I stand is like, all right, this is an issue that's gone back years, decades. Why
Look,
should
if you're not a good enough person to be trusted with a gun, why are you allowed to walk around free with the gun? You should be in prison or
well
dead.
I'm
One of
trying
the
to
two,
talk
right?
about the
Same thing with
abortion issue.
incest. If you're too damn dumb and you have sex with somebody in your family, knowing that they were in a part of your family like that, and you go get this woman pregnant like that, I think you ought to either receive the death penalty or be put in prison for the rest of your natural born life so you can never do it again.
But you really don't think women should have the right to, have an abortion? Do you really think that's like
No,
a satanic thing? Like,
I
I
do.
don't
I do in a
understand
way,
it. I'm
but
trying to
I'm going
understand.
to say this though. With that, if it was a rape, I think that the woman should be allowed to have an abortion. Absolutely.
So
But that's the
why?
only time. That time, and if their life is in danger. But their life is no longer in danger because every state allows a C-section now when the mother's life is in danger.
Now, what if you had a daughter and she was young and, God forbid something, bad happened to her and now she's given a baby? Would you not want, it's a complicated issue.
You already asked the question. I already answered it. If it was rape, then the woman should be allowed to an abortion. But that goes state to state. The federal law does not give them an automatic right to an abortion. And that is what the law stood for, Roe versus Wade. And it should never be. Our government should never have had that kind of power to begin with. And also, that goes along with this environmental thing with EPA and all of that, where all that got shot down finally. After all these past 60 years of them, screwing up our industry to the point that it left the country.
Yeah.
Think about it. They
And
should have
also
never been allowed
because,
to implement those kind of rules just to clean up the environment, like they were saying. If people don't like the environment being so screwed up in their state, then do something at the state level. It doesn't require a federal government to be a communist government to sit here and dictate what you can and can't do.
no, but let's think like one of the things that founded our country was separation of religion and state. That's what founded our country. That's
And that's what they've gotten it wrong for so long. The law was only implemented, and I've been reminding people of this since 2016.
but
That law
religion
was
shouldn't.
only the law was only originally implemented to make sure that no one religion could take over the government and then use that government against the people like they did in England. And so we made that a
Yes,
law, and it got twisted around. Now you can't even have the Ten Commandments in a court building anymore, or people want to sue you over that. And I'm like, is these people stupid? And the people implementing the law, they must be even dumber to allow this kind of shit.
and what's your thing with like universal health care? I feel like that's a no-brainer. Like, why shouldn't that be allowed in our country when it's,
Well, okay, here's what I got to say
England,
about that.
Canada
Okay,
do that? So
wait a
God,
minute, wait a minute. Here's what I got to say about that. I don't want my tax dollars going being wasted on somebody who's the opposite of a good American person, being supported medically like that. For example, I don't think anybody's tax dollars should go to that, nor any American tax dollar, no matter who it came from. Now, with that said, I do not I do not like socialized medicine. I think it's the worst thing. Every place it's ever been, it's ruined the medical field completely. Canadians come to America for all their medical care, and I do not think that should be allowed. I think they should not be allowed to come to America to get their medical care.
Yeah.
And I do not. I think we need to cut it down to 1% of the current amount of Canadians being allowed to even come into America, whether it's work
I don't
purposes
feel like
or
people are
migrate.
coming here for healthcare because we have a horrible healthcare system.
It's better than Canada's.
Canada has universal healthcare.
Well,
So
they
does
got one of the
England.
worst. Why does all the people from Canada and England come to America to get worked on then? I guarantee you they're not going to Canada to get worked on.
I just don't understand how we don't have universal health care. I think Obama tried to do that, but I know a lot of
Yeah,
people.
it's not communism, and the people are against it, so you're never going to get that to go. Look, it comes down to this: if you're too lazy to work, earn a living, then I guess you could just be a bum and die because you're too fucking lazy to be a part of society. Now, if the jobs are there, that statement holds true. When the jobs aren't there, then you got a problem, and that's our problem in America, and it has been for the next 30 years in particular.
All right, Bob, quick question. Greatest president ever. Go.
Donald Trump.
Not Lincoln?
Not Lincoln and not Washington. Washington was, I'll say this, he's the founding president.
Washington?
Yeah, it's hard to overtop the guy that led to the freedom of America and fought for it and became the first president. But what did he do as president? He really didn't hardly do anything. Really, he didn't do that much in comparison.
Well, he instead of they wanted him to be president like a king, like King Richard or something, and he was like, no, America should vote for their next president. That's what I think Washington.
Well, yeah, they didn't have any idea how to form a government at that time. It took them a little time to bring in the brains and to assemble a constitution that led to America.
And you don't think Lincoln was great?
Lincoln was great. I'm not taking nothing away from him. I just think that Trump was a lot better, and he will be a lot better if reelected.
See, Bob, I can't agree with that because I just.
Oh, really? Look at the gas prices. What did Lincoln do about the gas prices? Oh, they didn't have cars in this time.
No.
What about the minimum wage? That's gone up drastically. Not to mention how much money those people are getting back on their tax return every week and every month by simply working. They get more money because Trump lowered our taxes down to 10%. And in my opinion, there should be no income tax whatsoever for anybody making below $150,000 a year.
Well, my opinion is that Trump duped a lot of people in this country and got them.
Duped them how? How did he dupe them? He did everything he said he wanted to do, or he tried.
Trump is pro-abortion. He's a total hypocrite.
Trump is not 100% abortion like you think. Otherwise, his kids would have been aborted.
Yeah, I couldn't stand for Trump. I mean, I'm a New Yorker. I couldn't do it. Like,
Trump had it right. You should show your ID to vote. What's wrong with that? You got to show ID to buy a damn gun or alcohol. Damn, you better show it if you're going to vote. If you got a criminal record, maybe they should look at your ID to check, huh? Maybe you're not allowed to vote. Maybe you're on, probation or parole or whatever they call it. So how about you cough up your ID, because in most states it says it right on your ID, right?
But Trump never revealed his tax records. What do you think about that?
It's never been required. Now wait a minute. That's never been required. That was always brought up by the Democrats. And oh yeah, you know why? Because they don't have enough taxes paid in to even worry about anybody looking at their tax records. They're losers. That's what they are. You're comparing a winner to a bunch of losers. I got no problem with it. I don't need to know his personal business.
Yeah. Not even the what was that guy's name? Ghislaine Maxwell and the other guy.
What do you think that is up there?
What's that?
What is that floating around in the sky up there?
Oh, is it a saucer?
I don't know what that is.
Dude, I watched this thing the other day. The guy from Blink 182, and he was like saying UFOs.
It's not a UFO. I don't know what it is.
But he was saying it's not from they're not from other planets. They're from different times in our.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah, I was listening to it.
What the
and I was
hell
like,
is
whoa.
that? It almost looks like a kite, but it's all strung out. I mean, what the fuck is that? That is something floating through the air. It's a big something.
I don't see it.
It's right there.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Right there. You can't miss it. It's the only spot in the clouds. Oh, what the fuck is that? It looks like maybe a balloon that's falling slowly to the earth.
Well, you've been abducted before, right?
No, I would never. No, I would never abducted.
Oh, I thought I heard that.
No. That's because people don't want to believe the truth when they hear it. Just because, well, who are you? You've never been. They didn't come out and tell the national news that you spoke to aliens. They don't do that. There's people right now every day that talk to aliens in our government. That's nothing new.
Yeah. If I, met the aliens, I'd be like, "Have you guys ever saw Seinfeld?"
Yeah, I see Seinfeld. Yeah.
It's one of the funniest things on our planet.
Yeah. Now I've done a lot of crazy things in my time. I mean, I don't care who believes what. I can only tell you what it is. Someday it'll all come out. I feel that. But we've been in contact with aliens. Donald Trump, when the Navy recovered the last UFO that we know about, he came out on a national stage and said, "Look, it is true that our Navy recovered a vehicle not made on planet Earth, and we're not hiding it this time." That's an exact quote from Donald Trump. So I like a president like that as opposed to anything we've had in the past.
Yeah.
When they couldn't even tell us that they had a UFO at Hangar 18, which they obviously did. And then they moved it to another state at some point in time, like Montana.
I hate to say this though, Bob, but if Donald Trump were to meet in person, he'd probably think you were a fucking piece of shit. That's the kind of guy he is. He's just he looks down on people.
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh, you don't
He's
think
not
so?
like that. No, not at all. He's a good guy. You just have
He's
to.
not a good guy, man.
He is a good guy. Let me tell it to you like this: if you're a good guy like Donald Trump, I know a lot about Trump, but here's the thing: if you ever met a guy like Donald Trump and he sat down and let's say you're at a Taco Bell, God forbid that place sucks. How about Taco Casa? Y'all meet up at a Taco Casa. Ain't nowhere else to sit. It's Donald Trump and his son and somebody else there, and he offers you a seat. Hey, why don't you come sit with us? And you're like, okay, thanks. I didn't vote for you, by the way. And you start talking to him. He's going to talk to you on whatever level you're talking to him on. But if you start talking to him about shit that's out of your league, he's going to look at you like you're stupid because you probably don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I think he was, when he was president, like, people stood up for him and.
Yeah, Trump is not your pro quo. He didn't make a living out of politics. And I'm against everyone who's made a living out of politics in office today. I think they need to, every one of them, be voted out of office. Every last one of them.
But isn't he the worst thing
Democrat.
that, like, you could think of? Because, I mean, he just came from money
Look,
and power, and that's
okay. So what? That's good. How's that bad? How is that bad?
because he's too privileged.
Oh, bullshit. You're too privileged.
Yeah, maybe, but
Well, maybe you're a spoiled little snowflake. I can tell that about you from day
I'm not
one.
a snowflake.
You
Bob.
are a spoiled little brat.
No, I just have different views from Donnie Trump. I just never liked the guy.
When's the
But I
last time
like
your
you, Bob.
fingernails was ever dirty from working on a car or doing garden work or anything?
Yeah.
Like never. You're spoiled. That's it. Let me tell you, I've had to dig ditches in real life.
Well, I'm an American.
It
Aren't
doesn't
we all
matter. Look,
spoiled?
I've dug ditches for a
We're
living.
all spoiled.
Yeah, but you've never had to earn a living digging ditches by hand. You never had to do that.
No, I never had to do that, but you never know. Some day down the line, maybe I would have to.
Nah, I doubt it. Not at your age. No, you gotta be a young man for that.
Well, what am I, 32? So who knows? Who knows
Yeah,
what could
you
happen?
too
I
old
could
for
get fired tomorrow.
that. Yeah, you could. But there are a lot of I would work any job growing up, and then they started giving all our jobs to the Mexicans so they could pay them less money. And then they started trying to lie to everybody and say, hey, this one racial group is better workers than this other racial group, and that's a total bunch of bullshit. It was always about the money. You get people like Nancy Pelosi in office and Maxine Waters, they've never ever had a job for a living. Their only job has been politics. Those kind of people we need to get the hell out of office. Same thing on the Republican side. We
Bob,
need people who own businesses that know how to put people to work here in America in office. We need everyday Americans in office. And that's
did
what
you
I
hear? Did you hear that Howard Stern announced he was going to run for president?
what's he gonna do? Give everybody free sex changes?
No, he said make America fair again, which I agree with.
Bear for what?
Well, the abortion thing was a big thing.
Man, fuck Howard Stern. He ain't gonna win anyway. Everybody fucking laughs at this stupid ass. He don't know nothing about nothing. He's not smarter than me. So how's he gonna be my leader or somebody that I would look up to and vote for? That's Donald Trump. He's got a brain.
Donald Trump. I mean, I understand people's admiration for
Donald
him.
Trump went to the #1 university in the United States and got the highest scores on his test of anybody who ever went to that college or university. That's bragging rights.
I
Let me
will
ask
never
you,
be a
have
Trump
you
fan.
ever met anybody that's that fucking smart?
Yes, several.
Name them.
People I know personally.
Yeah, who? Now Berkeley don't count
Aunts,
because Berkeley's
uncles.
a dimwits college.
Donald
I'm talking
Trump
about a
is
college
just
you
a
got to pay
rich
for to go
boy
to.
piece of shit.
Trump's a smart guy, smarter than any Democrat or other Republican in office today.
Just never been a Trump fan. That's all I'm saying, Bob.
So you don't like the idea of maybe, I don't know, making TVs in America like they do in Japan?
Cheese?
You'd rather see TVs made in some country that hates your guts?
Are you saying TV or cheese?
TVs, like televisions, radios, anything along those lines. All of those things are not made in America anymore. They're made in other countries.
No, you're
Do you know
wrong.
why? No, I'm not wrong. Do you know why?
Has nothing to do with entertainment.
Okay, wait a minute.
In
Name
America,
me an American
one of
TV
the
brand.
biggest industries.
Name me the American TV brands. Or name me American companies that in America make radios of any kind, walkie-talkies, ham radios, or any kind of radio.
Well, right now, the biggest industries in America are streaming, I think. So it's Netflix, it's Amazon, it's HBO Max, it's all that shit.
Yeah, but those aren't real jobs. Those are like online jobs. Those are like anybody can do it kind of thing. Whether you
No,
make
it's like current. It's
no, yeah, but it doesn't produce anything. It doesn't do anything good for you or me. I'm not going to go out and buy a new shirt tomorrow and call that Netflix. Come on, man. What do you do that is productive in society? This, what we're doing right now, is not productive in society. This right here is only productive to the intellectual mind.
what are you talking about? Like what you're doing right now?
Yeah, what we're doing right now, we're having a conversation. We're trying to convince each other of something we think, or we're trying to educate somebody of something we know, or we're trying to prove to people why we're right and you're wrong. Whatever the case is, it's not productive. Being productive is when you create a new way to drive a car so you don't have to use gas or electric, for example.
Yeah.
Being productive would be actually making a product like TVs or cameras or radios, like we used to actually build in America. But you don't have that anymore in America. Do you know why? Because of the dollar value. For the same reason they supplanted the American worker with the south of the border worker is for the same exact reason. Next excuse you're going to hear is that people overseas make a better product than we do. Oh, really? Show me a muscle car era car that could outrun all American cars, and I'll prove you wrong.
Well, I thought this guy made a good point today where he said all they're trying to do is separate us, make a division. You know, it's we really shouldn't be fighting each other, but fighting the system that separates us. You know what I mean?
Well, that is true, and I'm telling you how to fight the system that divides us. When you have people that have non productive lives running the country, you end up with a country of bullshit. Why is California throwing off hundreds of trillions of gallons of fresh water into the ocean to the point they've already ruined the ecosystem, up in the beach areas around those parts of California? The birds are now dying because they don't have enough fish to eat. The things that they would normally eat don't exist around the beach areas anymore. So the birds are dying.
Yeah.
You got idiots running the state, and why are they doing that? So they can make money doing it, making water. That's not the way it's supposed to be. How about we let your tax dollars pay for the water, and Americans go back or get your water prices down to 1%, because this is bullshit over pricing water, and it's done in every state now because California can get away with it, so we should be able to get away with it too. And I say that dumping that water into the California Ocean is illegal under the Constitution of America because
Yeah.
it goes against everything known American. You want to talk about separation? How about separation of your pocket personal bank account and business and government? See, that's what we're supposed to be preventing, but right now that's what has a good grip on our government. We need to get rid of it. And the way you get rid of it is you start out voting Republican. When you vote Democrat, no matter who you voted for on the Democratic side, you're voting for something to go against the American people, whether it's dumping water into the ocean, it's making more federal regulation to get rid of our own farmers in our own country. Who the fuck would think of doing that? Only somebody that wants to kill you because their pocketbooks are so greedy, they want to buy products from Central America that no other country allows into their country so that they can get filthy, stinking rich doing it. That's the Democratic Party right now. And until people wake up to that realization, you don't even know what you're talking about. I look up shit like who's got money invested into what. See, I know where a lot of these people have their monies invested, and it ain't the Republicans. The Republicans are not invested into these Russian oligarchy companies. For the most part, that's all the Democrats that are invested into that shit. So it makes sense if you elect them to office, they're going to pass laws that work against you, the American people. So for that EPA law to be shot down the way that it was, I'm 100% for that because Hillary wanted to weaponize it, turn it against our own farmers to put them out of business along with our coal farmers. It was ridiculous.
Hold on, Bob. Hold on.
So I'm just pointing out that there's a lot working against us. And those same people got people like you brainwashed. Trump's a bad guy. He doesn't belong in
I just
Washington.
don't. I'm not a Trump
No,
fan.
Trump is a good guy. He's a smart guy. He's somebody you can look up to because he is somebody who's that intelligent.
No, I
And
always thought he was a scumbag. But
he's
can
never
I
been a
ask?
scumbag. Now check this out. Why is it Trump was always looked up to until he ran for president?
Bob, I'm from New York, so you gotta.
What did he
know,
do for New York? He did a lot for New York.
New Yorkers know what Trump was about before he became president. He was a
Yeah, Trump
slumlord. He
did a
was
lot
a
of buildings,
scumbag.
made a lot of money, and put a lot of you fucking people in New York to work. That's what he did. How does
Anyway,
that equate? Wait, how does that equate to being a scumbag?
he was a
Oh, wait,
slum
I know. You
lord.
rather have Joe Biden in office who's never even owned a company in his entire life. He's so stupid. He's never even had a job in his entire life. He's so fucking stupid.
I'm just being honest. I just
And I'm being honest. Until you could come up with somebody more intelligent than Trump, why in the fuck are you voting against him? He's our best bet. He's the best thing we got going right now.
I wanted to
There's
ask you
nobody
though.
that could kiss his fucking ass right now.
You know what? I just never had respect for him, even before he ran for
Because
president.
maybe you're one of these people who just hate everybody who's a billionaire.
No, I'm of course not.
It sounds like it to me.
No, I lost
Okay, let's
respect.
say tomorrow I have a child with a woman, and her daddy's he's got $200 billion, and this child grew up and he's spoiled like a bitch. You wouldn't like him, would you?
What?
If I had a child with a woman whose daddy has got $200 billion, and that child grew up to be the most spoiled little shit you ever met in your life because he wasn't raised by me. And let's say that child grew up to be the super rich guy who's doing nothing but going around making everybody, creating jobs for everybody in America, and he ran for president, you would fucking hate that motherfucker, wouldn't you?
No, I would have an answer if he stood for what if I respected him, I would stand by him.
Okay,
But
Trump had a point of view. I remember Trump talking about abortion several times. Trump was for abortion, but he was against it in certain situations.
And he
One
was
of
also
those
a
was when it
Democrat,
comes
and
to
he ran as
the
a
woman's life.
Republican because he knew he could
So
win.
what? I was a fucking Democrat when I was younger until I figured out that every time I vote Democrats, they vote against all of my rights, and I quit voting Democrat.
Well, I'm just trying to tell you why I lost respect for Trump. I mean, he was total hypocrite. I did not respect him as a president.
Okay,
I love America.
Wait a minute. You're missing the point here. You're totally missing the point.
All right,
Trump
guys.
lived in New York. New York is a Democrat state, always has been. So let me ask you this: those people were too stupid to figure it out and become Republicans. So if you're a guy like Trump, and you got a few million dollars to your name, and you want to go build this set of buildings over here that's going to bring you $100 million, and you can build these buildings on your own money, and make $100 million doing it. And so you go do it, but the only way to do it is you got to pander these Democrats to make it okay for you to own that little section over there, and you have to be able to buy that section of land. But before you can buy it, they have to release it for sale. You're going to have to go do something in government to get that land okayed for sale so you can go buy it. And then you got to get the cities okay, maybe the counties or the states okay. So what do? You go pander to those people in office, right?
Yeah.
That's what Trump did. What's the goddamn problem with that?
I feel like Trump stands for everything you would be against, but for some reason
No, Trump stands for everything I'm for.
But
he's about religion. He's the only president.
Money.
He's the only president to protect Christianity in my lifetime.
Oh my god! But like,
Name another president.
Well, I'm
Carter
not.
wasn't it. Carter was the antithesis of Antichrist. Old peanut farmer.
Yeah, I'm not a political person, but Trump, I feel like what you're talking about, like you would maybe despise this person because he is from money. And that's the
No,
only reason
no,
he was able to
no.
become president is because he's from money.
No, without his popularity, he would have never became president.
Popularity, okay,
Yeah.
but money is,
Look, I
he
don't care
he'd
who he
rather
is.
be a
Look,
celebrity
I don't
than.
care who Trump is. You've never seen a president in your lifetime or in the history of this country that ever stood up for the things for the people to the even a fraction of what Trump has done.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. The best time in my life, was in the
Let me ask you,
'90s when
what's wrong
Bill
with
Clinton
income
was
taxation?
president and the music was great. The '90s was
Oh, Bill
great,
was a disaster. He was a disaster.
but then 9/11 happened, and that's when everything turned and became bad, and it hasn't been
Everything
the
was
same
already bad.
since.
You just didn't know it. Everything was already bad. You just didn't know it.
But that's when I realized it was bad.
Well, things have been bad since way before the Clintons. The Clintons, what they did was they took the idea of Jimmy Carter and they liked it. And they said, you know what? If he can sell top secret information to China, we can too.
Well,
And
I
they
thought
made a
Bill
whole
Clinton
lot more
was a
money
brilliant.
doing.
I thought he was a good president because I just remember
Oh,
that
selling off
time in
our
my
top
life
secret
was very
information for
good.
personal profit, that's okay as a president. He should have been fucking shot. Him and Hillary should have been shot to death for treason.
Bob, you shouldn't say that. That's bad.
Anybody who in elected position gives away or sells away top secret information without the okay of the American people should be shot to fucking death on the
When did they
fucking
do
spot.
that?
His entire career. Go look up China Gate. Where the fuck have you been?
I was a little kid when Bill Clinton was president.
Oh, there's a lot of corruption with the Clintons. There's a list of over 200 fucking people they have had personally killed. People who are
Trust
gonna
me,
admit
I
all of this.
know some of, but I'm just saying, like when
Bill was the most corrupt president we've ever had, more
it
so than
wasn't
Obama. But
for
Obama
me,
was the worst president.
Bob, it wasn't for me until 9/11 happened where I realized, like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
I
that's when I
understand.
was starting to get real.
I understand. Just trust me when I tell you, these lifelong politicians, we need to get rid of them. If
Yeah.
you support any lifelong politician over anybody like Trump, you're a fucking retarded idiot. You shouldn't even be voting. You should shoot your fucking self right in the head.
But do you not understand? I'm from New York. Trump, most people from New York know he's a scumbag. He,
How is he? Okay, explain to me all of the things he did that New Yorkers know that he did that make him a scumbag. I want to hear this.
it's just his reputation, man.
Oh, his reputation. You don't know of anything. It's just hearsay, right? We heard that Hillary Clinton really had a dick at one time, so we just automatically believe it.
No, I'm just saying before he became president, it's like, I was like, really? Everyone's falling for this? Like,
Yeah,
Trump.
let me tell you why Trump was known as a scumbag. Because he threatened to beat the shit out of one of his daughter's boyfriends when he had to go get her out of jail on a drug possession charge
Never
because he
heard
was
that.
leading her into drugs into the wrong way. Yes, his younger daughter. Go look it up. And he went in and bailed her out, and then he stopped and had a little chat with him. And he told her, if I ever see you near her again, I will personally beat the shit out of you. I will beat everything out of you to your last fucking breath. And he meant it.
But how do you feel that he used to be Democrat? Like, he used to,
He was
you
both.
know,
Hey, I got no problem with that because he only used them to make himself money so he could build shit, so he could get government contracts.
and then he
He
ran
did it.
as
A
Republican
Republican,
because he
correct.
knew he would buy, he'd get
No,
all your
no, because
votes.
he knew he had more in common with the Republican Party than the Democrats by far, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, I don't know, Bob. I mean,
Republicans anti-abortion Democrats are pro-abortion. You know, when I was young, Democrats were only pro-abortion in certain cases like rape or, you know, if there's a problem with the birth. That was it. Outside of that, people were against abortion. And now the Democrats are up there just like, oh, it's a normal thing. Like, yeah, no, it's
No, everyone knows it's.
anti.
Listen, we're not women.
Most women are anti-abortion, period. And I'll challenge you again. Since Roe versus Wade, there has not been one single woman's march that has been conducted that did not have the Council on
There
American
doesn't
Islamic
need to be
Relations
because
funding it.
years ago it became
You
legal.
didn't hear what I said, did you?
No, I did, but I'm passionate about this issue, and
I know you're passionate, but I'm trying to tell you the people that back you are the Muslims, the Muslim Brotherhood. That's who the Council on American Islamic Relations is. You have
no,
not seen one single organized march against Roe versus Wade being overturned that was not founded by them. Not a single one. And I challenge you to get one going and start it going your damn self. You won't get fucking 50 people there, let alone 10.
the people who are behind me are women who I know in my life personally who have had bad experiences with other
Yeah, and I
people.
bet most of that's bullshit.
It's not,
Yeah, most women have not had abortions. Did you know that?
but a lot of them have, and that's not
Most
for us
women
to
are against
decide,
abortion.
Bob. We're
Oh,
men.
I went out and got fucked by a guy, and he got me pregnant, and I just think maybe I need an abortion. Like, yeah, I'm gonna kill this little fucking kid because he's a pain in my cunt right now.
And
Fuck that shit.
I have a point of view where I think most people shouldn't be able to reproduce. I mean,
I don't know about most people, but I think there's a lot of them out there that should be allowed to reproduce. Should have an IQ test.
all right, but say you were a little girl, right? And you grew up and your father molested you. All right, say that happened. What if she became pregnant? You'd want.
Well, definitely you'd want an abortion in that situation, yeah. But before you do the
So
abortion,
it's
I'll tell you,
not a
no.
religion thing.
Before you abort that child, you should put a bullet through that motherfucker's head.
Okay, yes. You know, I mean, I don't want to agree with that because I don't.
If you're not gonna kill him, you shouldn't kill that retard kid that's fixing to be born. Period.
But I'm
You
just
can't
saying
you
that's
can't just
where.
kill the, you can't just kill the retard child that she's fixing to maybe have to have. You should
All right.
also have to kill the one who did it first because he's gonna keep making more of those retarded kids.
And this is what I want to say, Bob, is I saw this movie a long time ago, and way long before any of these laws came out. This has been going on forever. Women, getting these things,
Yeah, I know.
and
But you
they
know
think,
what?
I need an
Everywhere
abortion.
like you think. Not everywhere
By
like you.
making it
There's only
illegal,
been
though, Bob,
in
puts
certain
them
places
at
that it came up.
risk.
Hey, look, if this was real prevalent, how come they didn't do it in China everywhere? They
Because
did.
in
They did.
China, if
They
they
did.
have a daughter, they kill them.
No, no, no. They did not have abortions in China. If a woman had an abortion in China, they would kill her fucking ass. That's why.
If they have more than one daughter, they try to get rid of it. I've heard that.
They don't
Could
allow
be wrong.
abortions in the majority of African nations.
It's just
You know what they do? You know what they do? They kill the people responsible for those children instead, and that alleviates the problem. See, I'm for remedies. I like to remedy the situation. I can't hear you, man. You got a bad noise going on with your radio.
yeah. Is that me or you?
No, that's you.
All right,
I
let me
think.
turn it. All right, is it back? Oh.
Yeah, I can still hear it when you keyed up.
Oh
Me
shit.
too. I'm having a problem with that too. That's weird. Okay, it's gone now, whatever it is. I'm just saying, man, we need real working people to run for office. We don't need these lifelong politician people in office. That's what's got America messed up, man. And we're seeing a lot of it, man. If you look up at somebody's only had one or two jobs while they went to college and you're voting for them, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You know, it should be somebody who's got some kind of prestige, somebody that we know is a good person, somebody that we know knows how to work for a living, knows how to be a manager. I mean, if you ain't even managed a fucking construction site or a warehouse or a restaurant or store of some kind or a business of some kind, who the hell are you I should vote for? You're a fucking nobody. You ain't done nothing in life. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't voting for you. That's the way I vote, man. Period. That or whoever's for the people the most, but I'm not going to vote for some moron that's never had a job in their lives. I mean, that's just the way it is, man. This is where people are messing up. Trump was a great president for a lot of reasons, and the main reason is because he does know how to make money, and he does know how to make America rich again. Name me one other person that can put all of us back to work again. You don't have anybody but Trump, and that tells you who you should be voting for right there, period. He gets in there for 4 more years. He helps America 4 more years, and then we look for the next Trump-like person. But you can't vote no fucking John McCain up in there. He married into family. That family owned a brewery, and they made beer for all kinds of Budweiser beers and whatnot. That's their claim to fame. But that doesn't mean that they should be qualified to be president or senators. I mean, look at how the guy double crossed people on the taxes, and then he turned around and did it again with the thumbs down, against Trump and against the American people on that Obamacare deal. He was a travesty, and I kept telling people not to vote for that fucking loser, but people voted for him anyway. And see what happened? He got into office, and we got screwed. But who was he? He's a guy who should have been put to death for killing all those soldiers way back when, but they covered for him. That guy's lucky he died of cancer. I tell you, he's so lucky somebody didn't capture him and torture his fucking ass to death. And just to be honest with you, like serious. And you want to talk about another mafia family? That's that fucking little bitch ass family he's got over. His daughter's trying to run for office now. Fuck her. There ain't nothing to like about her. She's never done nothing in life to give me a reason to say, yeah, I would vote for that person to be our leader. Think about this for a minute. People are fucking nuts, man. Oh, I don't like Trump. Why do you don't like Trump? Well, because he actually owned a business and made money. He owned a shitload of businesses and made a shitload of money, and he's just a scumbag like that. Ugh. Oh God, shut the fuck up. Everything he did in life was making money. That's all he ever did. He never had time to or spent the time or did anything to make people think he was a bad guy or a piece of shit anyway. Y'all guys believe the false media hype and all that bullshit. So the guy that was just up there was anti-Trump. He's a fucking idiot, and that's how you know who's the idiot who should not even have a right to fucking be able to fucking breathe. I don't think, because if you're that goddamn dumb, I don't see as there's a lot of hope for you, man. Maybe you shouldn't vote. Maybe you should restrict your voting rights until you can understand who to vote for and how to understand who to vote for more. When you just go to vote just to exercise your right to vote or to show off that you voted, you're a fucking idiot. 99% of the time, you're going to vote for the wrong people. Period. Every fucking time almost, you're going to vote for the wrong people. In fact, I'd say every time. So, look, if you're not about the people of America first and foremost in all of your decisions, I'm not going to vote for you. Period. If you raise my taxes one fucking time, I'm never vote for your ass again. If you're pro EPA, I'm never voting for your ass again. If you're pro abortion, I'm never voting for your ass again or anybody around you. You dig? The reason our laws are so screwed up is because of this right here, what I'm talking about. You people got people in your city council, you don't even know if they're American or not. You don't even know if they're from the Middle East or not. They came over here and changed their name and ran for office. How about you go check? There are ways of finding out, you know. See, this is one of the biggest problems in America today, is that right there. People not knowing who to vote for. And then when they should know, because like John McCain, he first got elected claiming no more new taxes. The very first fucking thing he did in office was to vote to raise your taxes. Well, that should have told you right there never to vote for that guy again. But what happened? He got reelected. And because he got reelected, we, the American people, got fucked. Look, if you like social medicine, move to Russia or China or Canada. But since the medical field in all of those countries really suck compared to America's, I don't think you're going to be moving. No. Why would you want to move to a country that you love a lot better than America when you can stay in America and vote to fuck up this country because you don't know who to vote for because you're fucking stupid? You rather vote in a guy that don't even know how to fucking hold a shovel, let alone ever used one. He goddamn sure couldn't cook anything because he's never cooked anything for a living in his life or for himself. You're voting for a guy that don't even know how fucking hot dogs are made, let alone how they're cooked. Seriously. Hand him a fucking catfish and see if he can gut it and skin it. You'll starve to death before he knows how to do that. You telling me you're going to vote for a guy who knows nothing about jack diddly shit, and now you're going to complain now that he's president about every fucking thing. But when Trump was in office, there wasn't anything to complain about except for the fact he was the orange man, right? You guys are fucking stupid. God damn, you're so stupid. It is amazing how stupid you are. So let me see. We're going to vote in Trump next time if he runs again. And then when he's out, we get a Democrat in office. You guys go back to complaining and crying and blame it all on the fucking Republicans, right? You fucking idiots. People are fucking idiots. Vote for the people that know how to, that have worked for a living. The older people that are retired, that have lived their lives. Those are the people that are wise. This is why older people make better politicians. And the politicians that we have today, they're pathetic. They suck. Every one of them need to be voted out of office. Lifelong politicians should never be allowed into office, period. You should be limited to holding office for a maximum of 8 years. All offices combined. That means if you run for city council for 8 years, you can never run for another office the rest of your life. That's what I'm for. How about we do that? I bet we fix America real fucking quick if we do that. Because then you'd rotate out all of these fucking lifer politician scumbags like Nancy Pelosi. Need to get her fucking ass out of there. I don't know, her saggy ass boobs. Yeah, I'm definitely pro term limit. 100%. If you were a governor for 8 years, you need to get your ass out and let somebody else run. And you should never be allowed to run for another political office, ever. Ever. Yeah, we need to get rid of these lifelong politicians, man, at all costs. That should be America's #1 goal right there. To stop the lifelong politician in every fucking state, especially California, most fucked up state in America. Might as well say Heil Hitler when you're going into California, because that's what you're entering. You're entering what has become the most communist piece of land in the world known today throughout history. There's never been a state that has as many people immigrating to get out of the state or a territory ever in written history except for a war. And even then, California's reached an all-new time high, and no other country has come close to California. Never in the history of mankind on that alone. You want to talk to laws? They have more laws against the people. Their own government works against them more so than the Nazi Party worked against its people pre-World War II and during World War II, for that matter. California is the most communist dictatorship of a nation I've ever seen in my entire life. And it is a dictatorship because it's ran by just a handful of people that run all of the main mafias throughout California. To me, that's a dictatorship. Same. Ain't much different. The strongest one says, I want to remove all the palm trees in California. Goddamn, tomorrow they're going to start removing all the palm trees in California. Just because it sounds like a good idea. And this is what you people are voting for? Fuck you. I'm going to vote for somebody who's going to do some good for America. I don't care if he's got $500 billion. I don't give a fuck if he's born with diamonds around his fucking neck. I don't care if he's the most pampered, spoiled motherfucker on the planet, as long as he's for the people first. That's who I'm voting for. I don't give a fuck if you dig ditches for a living. If you got the right ideas to put people to work in this country and to stop the unfair taxation against the American people, you got my vote. Period. Right then and there. Because no other politician is offering that to American people right now, except for Donald Trump and the people that he's endorsed. Outside of that, you got no one. So that's where I stand. All right, enough bird watching. Toodaloo.